What's up, guys? It's NFL Week 12 on DraftKings, and these are some core plays that I'm looking to build around NFL Week 12 this week. So let's jump right into it. These are players that I'm going to primarily build lineups around. Last week, a couple of names here this week we featured last week, and they worked out really well. I'm going right back to them. So let's get started at the top here at wide receiver. Back to it from last week, Arizona Cardinals wide receiver Michael Wilson. Coming off of an 18 target, 15 reception effort. What the hell, right? Core play on this breakdown last week. Hopefully you listen. I'm going right back to it. Here's the thing. I do not expect another 18 targets, no more 15 receptions. Not going crazy, but the Cardinals are in the exact same situation in another positive matchup here against the Jaguars. The Cardinals are at home, and Marvin Harrison Jr. is not going to play in this one. So why not go right back to Michael Wilson? Throw a nod out to Dortch as well, but primarily as the WR2, by the way. Dortch did really well as well last week, so we can give a an eyebrow raise to Dortch in this one. But Michael Wilson is the top dog. Yeah, Dortch 6 for 6 also had a nice week last week, but Michael Wilson is my guy at wide receiver. Got some salary relief at 4,800 as well, so I like that spot for Michael Wilson. Let's jump over to the running back position real quick and go with another Wilson, Emmanuel Wilson. Now, there is a caveat to this one, but I just want to pay attention to what this guy has done. When Emmanuel Wilson gets in the game, the Packers don't really have backup of note, right? So if Josh Jacobs is out again this week, I believe that Manny Wilson will get 80% of the running back opportunities at least. Take a look at the game logs here. He can catch a pass. If they throw it to him, he can catch it. 3 for 3, 3 for 4. They've used him in that role before. He catches a pass most games. That's what I look for. That's what I look for in these backup running backs. Are you going to get all the work? Are you going to catch a pass? And as a bonus, he's at home as a favorite. Everything that you want in a play, 5,300. All we have to do is hope that Josh Jacobs doesn't play. If Jacobs does play, we will not use this core play. It will no longer be valid, right? But loves me some Manny Wilson at running back this week. Staying with the running back position, I'm going with Jahmyr Gibbs against the Giants. Giants are kind of a dead offense right now. They're going back to Jameis Winston. No Dart this week. I don't expect that the Giants are going to... It doesn't even matter. They put pressure. It doesn't matter. Gibbs is a winner either way. Giants have been one of the worst teams against the run in the National Football League, allowing the second most fantasy points to the position. We know that Jammy only needs, he doesn't even need as much volume in order to smash. He got only 12 carries, 6 targets last week, put up a 22.6. The alternative to Jahmyr Gibbs is pretty much Bijan Robinson, who is also in a great spot, but I'm going to go with Gibbs in this one. Better matchup, better quarterback, more likely that the team is crushing, but I don't mind Bijan at all. Like, Bijan's great too. But I'm just going to core it with Gibbs. I'll have a little more Gibbs exposure than I do with Bijan. That's about it. All right, let's keep it going, guys. Who are we building around in NFL Week 12? How about Rashee Rice on the Chiefs in that big game against the Colts? The Chiefs need this win. I don't even know if they can make the playoffs at this point. It might be too late, but they absolutely need the win. The Colts are a team that are going to put up points. They have a pretty good defense, but they don't have an elite CB1 that can take out the opposing WR1. It shows in their defensive metrics. The Colts are not particularly great at stopping opposing wide receivers or specifically WR1s, right? So I think this game is competitive, high scoring, lots of throwing. We haven't had the monster score from Rashee Rice of the last few weeks, but the targets are there. 9, 7, 9, 10. That's about what we can expect for Rice. We just need the production to follow, and I think it will this week. I don't love the other wide receiver pay-up options available to us for the most part. Like Justin Jefferson, no, right? CeeDee Lamb, sketchy. Amon-Ra, very good, fine. I mean, also a good play, but a non-competitive matchup. And Jackson Smith-Njigba, the ultimate in a non-competitive matchup. Will he get it done? Maybe, but I don't believe that the Titans are going to be pushing them. So give me some Rashee Rice as a core build-around piece in NFL Week 12, guys. I've got some more, and I've got one more core piece to build around, and then I have 2 sneaky... I don't usually put in the core plays, but a couple of sneaky sleepers that I want to mention in this video because I got a feeling. And you're going to want to hear about that feeling. So let's get into the final core play this week. Trey McBride, tight end, Arizona Cardinals, 11 targets, 13 targets, 9 targets, 13, 11, 7, 11. This guy's getting targets like a WR1. There's nothing to talk about, nothing to complain about. The guy has been spectacular. The only downside is the spike in salary this week, going from 63 to 6,800, paying a little more, getting a little spendy. Usually I like to have some salary relief at tight end. This is where if you play McBride, I think that you can double tight end it, play like a cheap guy as well, because McBride, more of a flex play. But that being said, Trey McBride, he's doing epic things right now, and there's no reason to fade it. There's no reason to worry about it. There's no reason to say, oh, he done it last week. We're not chasing him. We were on him last week. It was a core play last week. Like, we're not chasing a bandwagon. We've been on the bandwagon for weeks. So we just stay on board. Stay on the bandwagon. Trey McBride. And of course, the fact that I have two Cardinals pass catchers as core plays means that, of course, at quarterback, we have to look at Jacoby Brissett as another week of core playable. We had him last week on the video, put up a 27, was the nuts play, won $1 million if you played him. I'm going right back to it here this week. All right, couple of sneaky sleepers that I added into the mix for this week. I also have some, I've been thinking about bringing on some core fades as well to this video. Let me know if that's something that you're interested in, because I got serious fades for this week as well. But we'll talk about that. Let me know if you're interested in the comment section in core fades, chalk fades. Scary to fade chalk, but yet it's how you win. All right, next up, I'm going to mention two cheapy wide receivers that I think have a chance to pop off this week. First of all, Luther Burden, wide receiver, Chicago Bears. Now, why am I mentioning Burden? Take a look here at the matchups tool, and you'll see that Burden picked up his participation rate last week up to 44% of the snaps, right? And even 15% target share versus Olamide, aka Olamide, that was only in the game for 13%. So look at this swap. What is going on here, right? Burden, 26% snap count on the year, but all of a sudden last week he rises up to 44 and Olamide drops down to 13%. Interesting, right? So this is a little bit of a get on the hype train a bit too early play. I'm not going to go crazy with it. I do like Caleb this week at home as well. So he's going to be one of the players that I'm using. But Luther Burden, if it's right, if what the metrics are showing is right, and if the team is getting more confident in having him in the game a little bit longer, he is an explosive player. He's always open. Again, absolutely passes the eye test to me. I think he's already probably, all right, we can argue about it, but I think he's better than DJ Moore. I think he's better than Olamide. He looks like a precision route runner and a big playmaker. So I've seen nothing to talk me off of Luther Burden. My biggest issue all year long has been the snap count. It's not been there, 26% average, and that is growing. But last week, 44%, that tells me something's going on here. Basically, the Bears were running double tight end a ton last week. If they're not doing that again this week, we might see Luther Burden's snap count rise up. And also, what I think is he's just on the field for passing plays, which is great. That's all we really need. So low ownership, unowned Luther Burden, sneaky sleeper play number one. Not core, sneaky sleeper. I'm adding this in. And then I've got another sneaky sleeper play. And this is a bit of a wider, I'm going to cast a wider net here. But I'm just going to say Jets wide receiver, right? Now, who are the Jets wide receivers? That's right. Look it up because you probably don't know. That's how bad they are. But Adonai Mitchell was just added to the team, and he went and out, actually did Adonai Mitchell things, which was drop passes that were on perfect target when he was wide open, right? Did a lot of that, but he's an NFL wide receiver. He cannot have such bad hands. Right? It has to be a 1 week anomaly. It has to be maybe it's not. I mean, we've seen a lot of this from him, but it has to be variance. It can't keep going. So if they continue to play Adonai and give him opportunities, which why wouldn't they? The coach seems to like him. Then I think he could put it all together. Jets got Tyrod Taylor playing this week. He's going to be out there throwing a rock because what else is he going to do? They're up against a pretty mediocre Baltimore defense. So the reason I wanted to qualify this one is because I kind of think Mechie and, John Mechie, the other Jet, and it could be any one of these Jets wide receivers. John Mechie at 3,300, There's even another guy whose name I can't remember. Wait, no, hang on. I'll pull up that name. But there's even a third wide receiver on the Jets that it could be any one of these guys, but I don't know why, but Adonai is the one that pops for me the most. He was the most wide open in that game. Yeah, the other guy is Isaiah Williams. I mean, he got a bunch of targets last week, 14% target share, but didn't catch anything either. Adonai, 22% target share, got a bunch of targets, dropped a bunch of them. A bunch of them went bad. Whatever. Just a little sneaky sleeper to throw into the old core play mix. But back to it, guys. Core plays this week. Emmanuel Wilson, only if Josh Jacobs is out. Pay up running back, Jahmyr Gibbs. Alt would be Bijan. At wide receiver, Michael Wilson, Rashee Rice, Trey McBride at tight end. And then finally, sneaky sleepers, Luther Burden, and quote-unquote Jets wide receiver. All right, guys, that's going to do it. Core plays for NFL Week 12 on DraftKings. Let's kick some ass and take some names. Helmets up, everybody. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.